Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Today is a Friday. No, it's Thursday. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's Friday. We're very close to the long weekend for Americans here. Very exciting. I'm excited for the long weekend. I wish it was Friday. Not quite though. One more day. Hydrate. Will do. Let's see what I missed in chat. Hello, everyone on YouTube and Twitch. How is your day going? Dillis Filler, thanks for 36 months, says it's our 4th sub, baby. God help me, I can't remember the previous 3 names, but I'm sure they were precious and not at all tragedy. We'll go with, banana, but it's spelled with too many nanas. Banana. There you go. That's a baby name. Oh boy, Felix, thanks for a 5-stream streak, says, sad my streak count got reset, but I did miss some of the streams. That's the price we all pay. And welcome everyone else. Hey Nemesaur, hey Wannabe, Grey Freya, Phoenix, everyone else. Today we're here to take a look at more Sovereign Citizen nonsense. We have a lot of guru stuff today, so a lot of the Sovereign Citizen grifters trying to sell things or teach people things through a program they're selling. We do have a court thing pulled up that we might get to, and a new traffic stop that we're probably going to start with. Might be a little bit of a shorter stream because I did get started late today. I apologize for that, so we only might go like 2 hours, maybe even a little shorter than that. But glad we can hang out today and watch some of this new Sovset stuff. Chromatic Cuttlefish with a 70 stream streak says it's Friday on this side of the pond. Also, Legal put up a video about Trump's, quote, settlement with the Department of Justice for a couple of billion taxpayer dollars, and he's absolutely incandescent about it. I'm sure our entire government is falling apart into complete and total corruption. We're there. We're there. I don't know what else to say about it. Anyway, if you want to help support the stream, you can always do so on YouTube by hitting the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. Help hype the stream. I believe on mobile you can do that, so if you hit the thumbs up button, a little hype thing will pop up. Sometimes I think you have to swipe it. And if you want to help keep the show going financially, you can always support the show by becoming a member on YouTube, using Super Chats on YouTube, becoming a subscriber on Twitch, gifting subs, or using bits. Okay, that's a mouthful. With that out of the way, Sweet Lily Love with 100 bits says, some bits to go towards the purchase of the Trump T1 phone. Thank you. All right, so let's jump into the first video.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Officer Ross with the Orlando Police Department. Do you have a license on you, boss?
Orlando. What a fun trash commercialism empire. You ever been to Orlando? It's a really surreal place. All the tacky tourist traps, although I am partial to the Wizard Building. The Wizard Building's pretty good.
So 1, your tag is expired, and 2, that you don't have taillights on your tag.
Did you see the little finger wag? Look at that.
The tag is expired, and 2, that you don't have taillights on your tag.
Oh no, he's overconfident. Stonecore Bell, thank you for gifting a sub and kicking off a hype train. If you want to help support the show's continuance, you could always help out the hype train with subs or bits. Thank you.
You do know the law, right?
Yes, that's why I stopped you.
It's called corpus delicti.
Only when you were 8, but that was Disney and Epcot. Yeah, it's definitely different outside of the parks. Like, if you're going to Orlando and you're just dealing with, like, Disney or Universal hotels and resorts and parks, you know, they typically put on a good show and everything looks really nice. But it's interesting when you get out of that into the larger Orlando area where other businesses are trying to take advantage of the Disney and Universal tourists, so you get much cheaper, tackier mini theme parks, restaurants with various themes, terrible gift shops. It's really great. I mean, it's not great. It's kind of a nightmare, but like, it's interesting from a bird's eye view. Probably not a fun place to live.
Your party for a crime to be committed. You carry your bond for that reason.
So I stopped you on the traffic stop, sir. I'm not going to ask you again to identify yourself, okay? Do you have a license?
M. Scheffler, thanks for gifting a sub and getting us over level 1 of the hype train. Yes, sociologically interesting. Exactly. Hydrate.
Foxtrot 35, can I get a 45 and a supervisor? Sir, I'm gonna ask you one more time to identify yourself. At this point,
Did he just say it's not a law? It is a law. You're driving a vehicle. You are operating a motor vehicle, and this is a traffic stop. You are required to identify yourself at said traffic stop and allow them to see your license and registration, etc.
told you the 2 reasons that I stopped you today, okay? You don't have any lights on your plate, and then it's expired. I'm now asking you to identify yourself. Now,
Just a Peach with a tip says, hi, we went to the pain specialist for faces, and now I have 1,000 of Botox to make me stop clenching my jaw and muscle pain. That must be nice. I have a lot of jaw pain.
you're refusing twice.
A crime is corpus delicti. If there's no injured party, no crime has been committed.
Are you refusing to identify yourself? If you refuse to identify yourself, you're going to jail for resisting. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
What's your name?
Officer Ross.
And
Now, I've told you multiple times to identify yourself because you're on a traffic stop.
that's not a law.
Failure to do so, this is my 3rd time.
They don't take insurance in Florida?
You need
That's
to
interesting.
ID yourself.
And that's not a law.
Okay.
And you can carry a bond for that reason. Each violation costs you $250,000.
Oh, his fee schedule says every violation is $250,000. That's much simpler than the itemized list we looked at the last couple of times we were looking at the sovereign citizen documents.
So now,
They were having things listed from like 10,000 to 1,000,000 and everywhere in between.
I'll gladly get out and go with you. But best believe I'm going after that bond.
All right, go ahead and get out then. Let's arrest you and you can get working towards that definitely successful lawsuit.
Okay. So you're not going to give me any sort of identification, nothing.
There's no crime committed.
Okay.
So
So you don't want to identify yourself.
I'm waiting on your supervisor.
Okay.
They should have a separate law for failure to identify than resisting to charge them with. I think there is a charge that's failure to identify. At least there is some places. I don't know in Florida, but I know I've seen other sovereign citizens specifically charged with failure to identify or failure to provide ID at a traffic stop. Depends on the state, I would imagine, though. Garatz with 46 months says, excuse me, ma'am, sister, but are you a peace judge and is this stream legal? It's lawful. Legal, I don't know about that.
You the supervisor?
No, they're
By the way, I did buy those Weird Al tickets, so I am going to see Weird Al in concert officially. My first concert ever in my 30s. Never been to a concert before. Very excited. Dillis Filler says, I know a theme parks nerd. Poseidon's Fury closed, but not for Harry Potter. They're replacing it with their current renovations in that part of Islands of Adventure. Rumored to be a Legend of Zelda ride. I loved Poseidon's Fury. That was a great, great ride, show. It's a show, but there's like walkthrough sections. It's not efficient at all. I understand that it probably took a lot to get so many people through that experience, every hour, probably getting 2 or 3 groups through. But it was such a fantastic, interactive show experience. Sorry, this isn't a theme park stream. Maybe another day we'll talk about theme park stuff. That's a mini special interest of mine. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Much appreciated. Getting us to 69% to level 4. Nice. Quasispec, thanks for 1,000 bits.
38895. Officer Lawrence. Can you do me a favor and turn the car off for us?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring earplugs. And ibuprofen and stuff.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
And you said your name and badge number was what?
Officer Ross 38467.
All right, thank you. As I told her, no crime has been committed. The crime is called corpus delicti. If there's no injury
Mr. Blast says Elton John was my first. Was he gentle?
party, no crime has been committed. You can't attach a fee. You can't use license, registration, insurance, any of that. That's called res judicata. anything passed down from the Supreme
You have the
Court
supervisor to
stands
your
for
right.
all 50 states.
He's refusing to identify himself and wants to supervise. I'm gonna take him out.
Okay. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. Supervisor?
Yep, what's up?
And what's your name and badge number?
Corporal Aaron Wilkins, 38339.
So, I asked him
Yep.
if they know the law.
Your first concert was Billy Idol. That's acceptable as long as it was White Wedding era and not cyberpunk era. Billy Idol.
Of course, the law states ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Okay, so what's your question?
So, I asked her why she stopped.
Yeah.
She said, tag.
Okay.
Right? That's not a crime. The crime is corpus delicti.
Okay.
No inter party, no crime has been committed.
Okay.
So he's citing the corpus delicti defense, which a lot of sovereign citizens use, where they believe that you need to have a victim directly, an individual person as a damaged victim in order to have a crime. They are incorrect about that. That is not true. That's not even what corpus delicti means in the law. Corpus delicti means, I believe, body of the evidence in Latin. And it effectively means there needs to be evidence that a crime occurred, right? So, let me give an example of corpus delicti. In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, well, that's not a good example because it's kind of nonsensical and the tarts are there. I'll still use it as an example. I'll just change it a little bit. Okay, let's imagine that the Jack of Spades has eaten the Queen's tarts, and he is on trial for this. In order to make sure that he can be put on trial in the first place, you need evidence that the tarts were even stolen. So you would need, like, security footage of the tarts going missing, an empty plate with tart crumbs that a witness can attest to where the tarts were earlier. You need evidence a crime was even committed. It's basically saying you can't go into a police station and say, Johnny over there committed a murder. I don't have any evidence that there was a murder or anyone's missing, but I j'accuse. There needs to be evidence a crime occurred.
So instead of 40, you can't have expired tags.
Sorry?
Is it expired tag? Okay. So you have 2 violations of 4-state statute, and your vehicle's in Florida. So those are 2 violations. You can stand here, argue with me. Here's the deal. You're going to step out of the car, and you're going to identify yourself. And if you refuse those 2 things, you're going to go to jail. You got it?
Okay, so... Now,
Okay. They're giving you a lawful order to get out of the vehicle, and if you refuse to get out of the vehicle, you're going to go to jail.
Listen, understand
Okay.
now, if we're going to do that, then I'm going after everybody's bond, okay?
That's fine.
I like the threat. I like the threat angle. I don't like it, but it's funny from an outside perspective that they think they can intimidate the officer into not arresting them. Minute left on the hype train. For some reason, sovereign citizens don't understand how difficult it is to get a cop to have any consequences, even in a situation where they're actually in the wrong, much less in this situation where the cop isn't doing anything illegal or anything that's, like, morally wrong.
Fine, go ahead.
Open up the vehicle. Open up the vehicle.
You said what?
Open up the vehicle.
Okay. You want me to open or you going to open?
You can open it because your door is not working.
All right.
Alright, thank you. Let me get your phone.
All right. You want to take the phone too? All right.
Do you have an Ankh necklace?
You want to take the phone too? All right.
Yep. Did you see it? Ankh! Egyptian fucking Ankh! Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
You
I
moved to
really
Florida?
appreciate it.
I'm sorry?
Are you moving to Florida, or are you just visiting?
I moved
How long have you been in Florida?
3 months.
Do you have a Florida license, or no? No. Do you work in Florida?
Well, we'll see about that now, won't we?
Well, this doesn't mean you're going to jail. All right?
All right.
We just got to conduct our investigation. You're refusing to identify yourself, so we'll go through there.
I haven't committed a crime.
Okay.
At least he's not resisting. Agreed.
Okay.
Smarter for
Is this
him.
car registered to you?
No.
No. Okay. You don't have any sort of ID? North Carolina ID?
I do.
Is it on you or on the car?
It's on me.
Okay.
In my right second pocket.
Okay. You mind if I grab that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license or just an ID card?
Just ID. I have my traveler's card.
Your traveler's card? Where's that at?
In the car.
It's in here. And what's a traveler's card do for you?
That's what I'm doing. I'm traveling. I'm not driving. Driving is an underground
Okay.
railroad process.
Okay.
Oh, that's a new one. Driving is an underground railroad process. How has Harriet Tubman entered the sovereign citizen lore? What?
Mr. Brown, do you know your social off the top of your head?
No, you need my social.
We're looking at your criminal history. Are you wanting to give your social? It's a yes or no.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Do we have the 1015?
Yes.
Okay, do you want me to bring him a car back? Have Jordan start searching through the car? What do you...
We can put him in my car. We can go through his pockets.
Okay. Good to sir? Okay. Turn around for me. You got anything on you that's gonna poke me, stick me? No. Nothing else on you, right?
Crazy watching a sovereign citizen, like, willingly be inventory to not resist. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Put you in the car.
Very smart on his part. It's weird to see him fall for the sovereign citizen stuff, but be smart enough to know that he should, like, go along with this regardless of his feelings. Most sovereign citizens don't have the sense of reality to do that. Yeah, might save his life. True.
If you want to come out and turn your butt the other way, it might work a little better. There you go. And just scoot back that way. Better? Yeah. Right. You got nothing in your shoes, right? No.
That was kind of nice as a change of pace. Certainly he's a sovereign citizen and he's wrong about the things he believes, but I do appreciate that he at least wasn't like an asshole about it, I guess. Low bar. The bar is in hell. Oh my god, this is that Don Kalam guy. I hate him. He's like one of the trashier Sovsit gurus. He kind of falls into the same slot as like, he's kind of like a Timu Andrew Tate. He's like going for the same hustle culture market of insecure men, making a show of like conspicuous wealth, things like that.
We sacrifice humans every day. You don't even know it. Baal is a demon name. You have to look this up. Baal.
Pretty sure Baal was an opposing god in the Bible, not a demon. He was the god of the Philistines. I gotta look it up.
Anytime you say you understand your charge or anything with, because that's a religion. Saying you understand and dealing with the public system, you don't have to deal with the public system. You could be private. But anytime you
Canaanites and the Phoenicians. Goddamn Phoenicians.
pay Baal, you're paying a demon. That's a human sacrifice to get out of jail. Look it up. Baal's in the Bible. It's in your Bible, man. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, look at your Bible. Guarantee it says Baal's name like at least 100 times.
It's not even spelled the way that you're saying, though. It's a homophone. Baal, the god in the Bible, that's the god of the Canaanites, is Baal, at least in English. And the Baal you're talking about is Baal as in Bail, like a bail bondsman. Those are different words. They just sound the same. They don't have the same meaning.
Right, one more. Baal, that's the name.
I don't know if he's a Jehovah's Witness. The fact that he specifically mentioned them and not Christians in general leads me to consider that. Not sure, though.
So every time you give,
Can be
you pay.
faulty.
How don't you have to pay Baal when you get out of jail? Do you even know what Baal means?
No, what is the bail?
Don't you have to get a? So say we go to a bail bond company, right?
Okay.
So what's the second word after bail?
Bondsman?
Bond.
Bail bond.
So all they're
right.
using is bonds to even get you out. Everything is bonds. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're just brokers.
Never thought of it that way.
They're just brokers. You're dealing with bonds, you're a broker.
For bail.
For bail.
For bail.
For bail, the demon. That's why they wear the mourning robes. It's the Grim Reaper of the streets.
The black robe.
That's not why judges wear black robes. Green guy with a tip says, the wife got 90 units of Botox for her jaw pain today. The first 1,000 seemed like a lot when they wanted to make a follow-up in a week, but I found out it should last for at least 6 months, and maybe a follow-up is free. Maybe her headaches will get better, too. Hope so. Green guy also says, bale of hay. Christian Bale.
Robes. Yeah, it's the same one as the Grim Reaper, right?
Hey, Will Cal.
They wear the same robes, right?
Right.
No. The Grim Reaper has like a hood. Judge robes do not have a hood.
Because you're dead, all rise. You just paid bail.
Whoa.
My favorite thing is when idiots say whoa after something that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's religion, man.
How have we made it as a species this long? We are unmitigated idiots. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's do some quantum grammar. I think it's been a while since we've looked at the life's work of David Miller, the quantum grammar guy. So let's take a look at some of his stuff.
My name is Plenipotentiary Judge David Winfo Miller. I punctuate my name because it makes me a fact and not an adjective pronoun fiction. I'm
Prepare for word salad if you've never heard this man before.
here to introduce to you to a program to bring this planet out of its adverb world for 8,500 years into a correct sentence structure communication syntax organization. Now, all 250 countries worldwide have been under this adverb guise by the Universal Postal Union, Bern, Switzerland, established in 1873.
He was the original Sobsit. Definitely not the original, but he's earlier than our current wave of online gurus. He was pre-internet. So he is... I'm fascinated by this man. He was like an old school con man, basically, going from town to town, giving these seminars to people, having them pay for his ridiculous seminars. And then, you know, he'd get his money, he'd pack up, leave town, go to the next place. He's like the last of like the great 20th century snake oil salesman. And to be clear, I don't have respect for him. What he was doing was terrible. But just looking at it from an outside perspective, it is so interesting that he is a product of a period of time before the internet where you could just, like, be anonymous or pseudo-anonymous and go from town to town and grift people off the same grift for decades and you never really get caught. I mean, he's got to be one of the last of those around. He made it to the internet era just barely, and then, of course, he passed away. It's just so interesting. Was this after his monorail grift? It was after he actually convinced an entire town to start a band for their kids so they wouldn't become delinquents by playing billiards all day.
They're known as the New World Order. As times are changing, education is expanding, this technology has been perfected, and the people of the world are tired of being raped through taxation. Raped
Probably not a good word to use for that.
through misinformation, the subjective interpretation where privileged few are allowed to go free from committing crimes and others are slapped with serious fines, prison terms for absolutely nothing. I go into court.
I'm skipping to the next part. Let's go to this one. Please make sure to pause this video often to take notes regarding anything that interests you for further investigation and also read the description.
You go through 3 stages in life. Your first stage is you do not know what you do not know.
No one was aware of.
Agent 00 Soul says, you go to court, and where do you play tennis? A court. What do you play tennis with? A racket. Court's a racket. I know you're making a joke. Clever joke, because that is exactly how conspiracy theorists think. Arbitrary, nominative, like, connections. I don't know.
Syntax until you
Aldred Undying, thanks for gifting a sub to Just Dark.
saw this program. Once you saw it, you were aware of what you did not know, which means you didn't know about the math interface on language. For that fact, for 8,500 years, the entire population of the planet Earth in 5,000 languages did not know about the math interface on syntax until 1988 when I broke the code.
So what this guy's grift is, he claims that he has mathematically solved communication. He basically says people go to war out of all sorts of stupid ideas because their ideas aren't clear enough and our definitions are all over the place. So his pitch to people is that he has mathematically created quantum grammar, is what he calls it, and it is a perfect language system that you use to interface in contracts and with the legal system, and you can basically cast magic spells with it that make the court do whatever you want, because they can't deny the reality of your mathematically accurate quantum grammar. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. This man is responsible for filling court clerks' offices with innumerable, ridiculous stacks of paperwork from sovereign citizens. You have no idea how much this guy really, really, really fucked over court clerks and the court systems by convincing people to file all these bullshit documents with the court.
Code. And then when you know what you know, you become a teacher and stand up here like I do and educate people. The math is syntax creates.
Patch says, you said to prepare for word salad, but I've done enough work with mathematical grammars in the same context as a technology called quantum collapse that this all sounds just close enough to real algorithms that it's giving me an actual headache.
It's the facts on a mathematical level where when you write a sentence.
I should read his list of claims on Wikipedia. I've heard them all. We did a stream years ago where I watched a 9-hour presentation of his. Just straight. I sat there and watched 9 hours of him. I know every claim he makes.
It's frontwards. It says the same thing when you write it backwards. People come to me with Bible passages because everyone wants to know who God is or wants to know what the Bible really says. 1/3 of all the words are missing from the Bible and the Quran. And
1/3 of the words are missing from the Bible and Quran. Amazing that it's still readable.
Buddhism and Hinduism and all the great religions in the world. 1/3 of all the words are missing. And so when you can.
Does Buddhism even have a central text like the Bible or the Quran? Is it not just a more loosely whatever?
Take whatever is written.
He's saying bullshit. It doesn't matter.
And then go out and put the correct prepositional phrases in now time. Remove the negative because you can't perform negative. Remove the illusion and create a fact. Now, a lawyer would write this like that. The bridge is over the river. And you were all taught when you were in 5th grade in school, never start a sentence with a prepositional phrase and never end a sentence with a prepositional phrase. Well, if you don't end a sentence with a prepositional phrase, you've got a dangling participle verb as an answer.
No, you would not have a dangling participle because you got rid of a preposition at the end of a sentence.
Means your sentence is incomplete. When the government writes their instructions on most of their forms, they don't use adjectives. They only use adverb, verb.
Wannabe says, Buddhism does not have a single unified equivalent to the Bible. Instead, it relies on a vast collection of oral teachings, discourses, and monastic rules that fill thousands of volumes. I thought it was more something like that. Thank you.
Adverb, verb throughout the entire sentence structure. We did not elect a president on November 2nd, 1999. The United States government said that 2/3 of all the states, 38 of the 50, had to recount all their ballots. Now, this was just an illusion to keep people watching the ballot counts while the 90 days runs. No law under the Treaty of Versailles, 1906, becomes legal in any federal government and anywhere on planet Earth for 90 days. Add 90 days to November 2nd, and you get February 2nd, 2000, at which time President Bush was appointed the next president of the United States of America. Corporation. The democracy of America is dead. It no longer exists. We are a corporation. International bankruptcy has been around for 6,500 years. That's 70 years as an international bankruptcy.
What?
It was established by the pharaohs in 4700 BC by the Masons.
Wait a second. There weren't pharaohs in 4700 BC. Ancient Egypt's old kingdom started in like 3100 BC. Egypt didn't even exist yet.
Pen by
Maybe Stargate was right. Who knows?
itself is a pronoun. If I say the 100 BC by the Masons. Pen by itself is a pronoun. If I say
Pen is a noun. Pen is not a pronoun. Pen is a noun. It's a pen. It's a thing. It's an object, and it's not a specific object. It's a kind of object. So it's just a noun.
the pen, the is an adverb which modifies.
Wait, what? You think the is an adverb? What?
The verb pen.
It's a conjunction, right?
Modification is change. Change is motion. Motion is action. Action is verb. Okay, now if I say of pen, of is normally the preposition and the is the article. Separated, they both become adverbs. So now you
What?
have an adverb of
The is an article, a definite article. Thank you.
pen, or by pen, or with pen, or over pen, under pen, doesn't matter how you do it. If you separate all the prepositions and all the articles, this is going to become a verb. Now if you use a prepositional phrase,
It can't be a verb. You can't pen something. You can write something, which is a verb, write, with a pen, noun, but you can't pen something.
for this pen.
Although I guess there is a secondary definition of pen that also counts as a verb, like you pen a letter, but that's a different version of the word. It's a multiple definition thing. It's not the way he's describing. I fucking hate English. Alton Undying says it would be a homicide to show this to my editor mother-in-law, ex-English teacher, right? I think so. I think so.
For my pen, for your pen, for his pen, for her pen, with his pen. See, every time I change the preposition or change the article, I change the ownership and I change the operation of the pen. If I change the operation of pen, and I can do it 900 times, if I put two nouns together, now I've got 81,000 variables. If I put three words together in a sentence, now I've got 7.2 million variables. I put the fourth word in, I got 640 million variables. I put 5 words in a sentence, I got 5.4 billion variables. And it
Alton Undying, thanks for gifting a sub to Profane Priestess. Main Captain, thanks for a 7-stream streak.
goes on and on. So the government comes back and says, we can't do that. We don't have a computer that can break the code because the amount of terror.
The code? There's no code. This was filmed in like the early 2000s. It was long before AI. No computer was reading these documents with any attempt at comprehension. What are you talking about?
Terabytes of information just to write a single document with 300 words, so you'd have 900 to the 300 power. There's no computer in the world that has enough capacity to do that. My
That's not how people read documents.
brain does it as fast as I can speak. I can syntax and write and do the conversions. The human mind is really unique.
His whole vibe is confidently incorrect. It's almost like he's some sort of man of great confidence. Like some kind of confidence guy.
Its ability to use deductive reasoning and logic to create the correct sentence structure, communication, syntax. And with this level of
Green Guy says there have been dumb primates for millions of years. Thank God it'll be over soon.
accuracy, the government said that's impossible. Well, what's the first rule
And then it's the cetaceans' time to thrive.
of the law? It's called knowledge. You don't have knowledge, you can't play in the sandbox. You can't participate. So you got to have the knowledge to understand what is being said. Dr. Masseuse has had 200 trials over the last 13 years. The case is currently running up a bill of $80 million. And I went in there and in 10 minutes I syntaxed Day number 1 lawsuit, 2 pages, 186 mistakes on it in syntax. Disqualifies day 1. What happens when you build a foundation on sand? It's going to collapse. If you commit a fraud on day number 1, the other 199 hearings are also fraud because they were predicated on day number 1. And the judge stands up and says, I don't have a pay scale high enough to deal with this. He says, you're not a barrister. You can't represent him. I says, yes, I am. You don't
By the way, if I haven't said this already, I don't think he believes any of this. Like, I don't think he's a crazy guy. I just think he's like an outright scammer. I don't think he ever believed any of this. Like, he couldn't function if he truly believed all of this. If he was as delusional as these stories imply, he would not be functional. He could not go about his day-to-day life and interact with people enough to survive. So no, I think he's an out-and-out grifter, doesn't believe this, just thinks everyone's a moron. Not wrong for his marks, I guess.
have a 6-year college degree to know what a barrister knows, but a barrister only knows how to read and write an adverb verb. And he's restricted to do that because they have a code. No law or fact shall be tried in court.
That's not a pen, that's a marker. That's literally true. At my work, we call markers pens a lot of the time.
Is their law. That is their oath. Every judge, barrister, lawyer, attorney, worldwide, all countries, all languages swear to this because for 8,500 years, language has been bastardized. It is adverb-verb illusion. So you've got an adverb that's a negative adverb, modifies the verb, or as a conjunction, back becomes a verb, shall is a pronoun, be is an adverb, making tried.
What did he say was a pronoun?
Back becomes a verb, shall is a pronoun, be is an adverb.
Shall is a pronoun?
Verb making tried to be a past time verb. In is an adverb, modifies the verb court. It's a dangling participle. You've got a verb law, a verb fact, and a verb court. You can only have one jurisdiction in court. It's called the least common denominator. In a math problem, you must always acquire the least common denominator in order to solve the problem.
I like this kind. I say like in a very distant, like academic way. Not this morally, obviously, is disgusting. He shouldn't have been allowed to do this. It's terrible. But like from again, just like an outside perspective, it's fascinating that it seems like the entire strategy for his presentation is to string together words that to an idiot sound like they mean something, but obviously it doesn't. No one can comprehend this because it's not comprehensible. It's word salad. But presumably the idea is that the mark in the audience is maybe someone who's already confused when people explain complicated things to them. So to them, this doesn't necessarily feel different than when like a smart person tries to explain a difficult concept to them. So they just see a guy very confident in explaining things that they don't understand, and they just assume, wow, he must be super smart. He must be super smart. He talks just like a smart guy.
Least common denominator is one. You got one jurisdiction under maritime law, one jurisdiction under maritime facts, and one jurisdiction under maritime court called verb, which is an illusion. In an illusion, 3 plus 3 equals all numbers in the universe except 6.
What?
Under maritime facts, and one jurisdiction under maritime court called verb, which is an illusion. In an illusion, 3 plus 3 equals all numbers in the universe except 6. You can't try 3 plus 3 equals 6. An act. A-C-T. All words that start with a vowel, A, E, I, O, and U, are followed by 2 consonants means no contract. You're going to say,
what about why? What about why?
Where do I find that rule? Look up every word in the dictionary. Get yourself a nice 8-inch thick Webster's Unabridged Dictionary and look up every word that starts with a vowel and 2 consonants. And all the synonyms that reflect that word, and you will find a no contract, a negative condition of state for every single word. ACT means no contract. This is a room. This room has 4 corners. This is a box. In this box, this is an enclosed area. Everything that happens in here has nothing to do with the rest of the world. All the information you learn here today is in a closed area for you people only. So this is a isolated scenario. In 4700 BC, Pharaoh said, so...
Again, there was no Pharaoh in 4700 BC. Literally not a thing that existed.
It is written, so it shall be done. There was a reason for that. Because oral contracts cannot be seen or proven. Because of the argument, you got two. So if you do, did you hear what I said, what I meant, what I said, when I said, what I meant, what I said? If you don't see it written, you can't prove it. When you write a contract...
Why is this edited almost like it's making fun of him? This is from a channel that's supposed to like him, and the editing is kind of hilarious. It's just cutting between random nonsense.
You go into court, you have a syntax document. You are filing a lawsuit with an accuracy of 1 to 900 for every word. Your correct sentence structure, communication, syntax, balance of the order of operations of cause and effect, a verb of thinking, a possessive of with, and an authorization of by the, gives you an order of operations for every sentence that follows the rules of the operations of a court.
It's like found footage fest. I love found footage fest.
Every single sentence is its own independent court as you make an argument. We're not dealing with 150.
Speaking of that kind of thing, of course I have a Blu-ray right in front of me. I love, like, projects, editing experiments, where it's just editing together weird, insane footage. This is a great example of this. This is an early Joe Dante project. Like, I think he might have been in film school when he did this. Now, this was 1968. It's called The Movie Orgy, and it's like hours. This is 276 minutes of random clips of movies and serials and weird things he found, all edited together. Really fun. Joe Dante did Gremlins, Small Soldiers, basically any movie with Dick Miller. Decent chance it's a Joe Dante film. Would recommend. Alden Undying says, this reminds me of a book, A Short Stay in Hell. Good movie.
50 to 1 variables in an oral conversation, so your paperwork is going to speak for you. Why do you think the government shut the government down in the United States 19 times? Because they got caught in a lie and they didn't know what to do with themselves. They had to go out and study. They have to come up to speed with this thing. Every court in the world has to do this.
Sorry, I want to show you guys something real quick. This is Hannah's Blu-ray bullshit. Sorry. So the same people that put this version of the movie Orgy out, the American Genre Film Archive, they're incredible. They restore old films, like lost films, ridiculous educational things, the kind of stuff we watch on, like, Public Domania or VHS Vault that's not, like, a known thing. Like, they have Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which is public domain, but they did a rescan of it, and on here is, like, an hour or more of random Christmas shorts from between the 30s and the 70s. Really interesting. Drug-O-Rama Video Party, which is a bunch of drug scare movies. Scare Film Archives Volume 1, Drug Stories. So these are all drug scare films about LSD, marijuana, whatever, across the decades. Scare Films Volume 2, which is danger stories. So it's stuff like, don't play with matches, don't touch electrical wires, you know, educational stuff for kids that's kind of creepy and weird. Mixtape Vault. This one's great. This is just random stuff they threw together with basically no theming. It's incredible. Horror trailer show. This is a bunch of obscure horror trailers. So not like big ones necessarily that you would like remember off the top of your head, like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, but like smaller B movies, trailers and stuff. Really love to sit through those. And they did another one that's all trailers called The Cult of American Genre Film Archive Trailer Show, and it's trailers and, like, snipes from movie theaters. Really great. So if you are into any kind of, like, weird old film stuff, educational films, weird pop cultural relics like I am, check out American Genre Film Archive. They sell stuff through Vinegar Syndrome currently. That's who they're currently partnered with. And actually, Vinegar Syndrome is going to be having a sale starting tomorrow, starting tonight at midnight, actually. It's their halfway to Black Friday sale. So if you're interested in any of these, definitely check them out. I would recommend it heavily. All right, let me put these back. Anyway, that's my tangent for the day.
And when you take English through syntax through this program, and you translate it to Spanish, Spanish to French, French to German, German to Russian, Russian to Indian, Indian to Chinese, Chinese to Japanese, and back to English, you don't lose any words. It's a math problem. Just because
It's not. Words aren't math. They're highly subjective.
there's 5,000 different signs and symbols for things, it's a math problem. You can't change a math problem. That's the accuracy and the beauty of this technology. It's what you hear, not what's written. Did you hear what I said? What I meant, what I said, what I said, what I meant, what I said.
Yes, he said Indian, which of course is not a language.
Communicating
Racist.
to you. It isn't what's written here. I'm writing to show you how many ways I can write it, to show you the variables. But when I speak it in one terminology, which one of the 150 variables up here that I just say to you? You don't know that. And because you don't know that, you're going to make a presumption, opinion, presumption, guess, perjury, a lie. How many different mistakes can you make? And that's only one.
Okay. I think that's the amount of word salad that we can deal with today. Let's get into something that's still wrong, but at least comprehensible to a degree. Okay. You want to see what Kat's been up to? Is anyone interested in what Kat has been up to, harassing her local city council? Alton Undying says, I scored a copy of the limited run Nightbreed, the Cabal cut. Only 250 were sold. That's awesome. I think the lowest I've ever gotten is something that had like 1,000 or something. No, I've gotten stuff that had like 500, I think. That's good, though. Good grab. She's still on this? Of course she is. You don't know her? I will explain then, Felix. Kata Spinda, who is here on the left, is a MAGA person, a Trump supporter, into QAnon. She's a big conspiracy theorist. She used to work for a property management company. Then she got into the sovereign citizen conspiracy. She stopped paying her mortgage. She stopped paying her car payment. She lost her house. She lost her car. And now she does her own show talking about how corrupt her local government is for not listening to her bullshit sovereign citizen arguments in court. Now, her and a bunch of other people from her local area that she has riled up are basically going to every city council meeting and being weirdos, conspiracy theorists, general pains in the neck. Of course, they're allowed to do it. They can go talk at their public city council meetings. I just think nothing's going to come of it. So, let's take a look at what she's been up to. That's her boyfriend, by the way.
Hello, good
They're into the twin soul thing.
men, women, sons,
Twin flame, I mean.
and daughters. This is Kat,
And I'm Aaron.
and we are
Katarin.
You can't make your own couple name. That's weird. Don't do that. You're not famous.
That kind of fast.
We're bringing you a surprise tonight. I'm bringing Aaron, the cameraman, for the 2-tiered takedown. We have discovered in our journey here in Benton County that there is no justice. There's just
He looks
us.
like Malcolm in the Middle. Frankie Muniz. Alternatively, I would have accepted he looks like Big Fat Liar.
And we have uncovered over the last,
13
months,
weeks.
since March 3rd, which was the very first commissioners meeting that we attended, and we have been discovering some things that have been undeniably corrupt. We have judges that are committing corruption in family court. And what have you been seeing? Because Aaron, I'm doing my thing, and Aaron's been great getting the camera footage. How have you been feeling about going in there?
Well, I've been to 13 of the Benton County Commissioner meetings and only 4 of the Franklin ones so far.
Are they still making that sitcom? What? When was Kat gonna make a sitcom? Oh, wait, no. What? What show? Wait, are we talking about Frankie Muniz again? Malcolm in the Middle? They did a return mini season recently. Oh, the manga sitcom. I don't think so. I think by the time we watched that, it was already pretty canceled. I can look for it, though. It might be around somewhere.
So far. And I can just...
What the heck was the name of that show?
tell you from the 4 Franklin meetings, just night and day. Benton County, they don't care. They gaslight. They are the do-nothing squad. They earn their name. They're
What's a girl to do? Thank you. Now I remember the theme song. What's a girl to do?
reputation. So, yeah, you go to Franklin County and you actually get the inclination that they care. So
exactly.
And as just the camera guy, I wasn't planning on going and speaking at any of these events. I've spoken at a couple of them, but you hear the same stories from new people are coming in and talking about what the family courts are doing, tearing these families apart and monetizing what the children go through. And we can't be quiet about this anymore.
So a lot of people who go through family court and don't get their way turn into conspiracy theorists who have decided that the entire family court system has been set up surreptitiously specifically to fuck them and other parents over. It's not the case. I'm sorry that the case did not go the way you wanted it. I don't know the context of the specific situations here, but it does not mean that the courts and the judge were out to get you. People, of course, for obvious reasons, have very strong feelings towards their ability to see and take care of their children. So when they are no longer legally allowed to do so, for some reason, they freak the fuck out. They lose their mind. And a lot of them become sovereign citizens, unfortunately.
Nope.
This is a big deal.
This is a huge deal. And since I've started these shows, they have done everything they can, as per usual, to censor, shadow ban my show. However, my little clips coming off of the show are going full on viral. And basically...
Oh God, where are her clips going viral? Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook?
There's no stopping what's coming. And we're just going to keep continuing doing this week after week after week.
They're really not going to stop until they try the day of the rope, are they? They're just like straight up not having anything. Are we viral in the sense that everyone wants to avoid us?
Show the people and make these families personal what is happening, and it's systemic. So,
and we are the news now, and we're going to come to this in a bit because something is mentioned in the Franklin.
Zolit says it often turns out it's abusive parents that become these type of sovereign citizens. Yes, it is. Often ones who are very controlling, view their children as property, very biblical oriented, like fundamentalist Christian who sees their kid like property. That's a big thing. Alden Undying, thank you for gifting a sub to Zolit Lionheart. Appreciate ya.
Meaning that we're going to touch back on. We are the news. It's our job to get the truth out.
Why would you think just trying the day of the rope would stop them? Because it would be ineffective and people would fight back. I don't think it would go well for them in the long term. They'd hurt a lot of people, but like I don't think they would succeed in their attempt.
Because you cannot rely on your local news rag anymore.
No, you absolutely.
We call ours the bullshitty Herald for good reason.
Well, here, just to briefly talk about it, Judge Brandon Holt demanded proof and grilled Mason Pickett in a domestic violence case this week. So he went in there rambling on and on for his client.
Where kids live with her? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure her kids would be adults based on her age.
Client about the other party, a father, on a false allegations. This seems to be his MO. And he seems to be able to talk people into doing this just so they can get their children. This is disgusting. Well, he rambled on for about 30 minutes, and then apparently Judge Holt asked him for actual evidence, and he had none. So he didn't win that case.
Her son was with her when she was evicted. Are you thinking of the other woman who lost her house, Mel Fletch?
Starting
because this is a different person than that.
To get pushback even from some of these. It says Judge Brendan Holt. I believe he's actually a commissioner.
No, it was Kat. I guess it's been so long since she lost her house, I didn't remember the detail of her kid living there.
But we want to get out the information. If something good,
he was an older teen. Okay,
happens, then we want to talk about that as well. So thank you, Commissioner. I believe it says Judge. I think it's Commissioner Brendan Holt on demanding proof. This is where we need to go. And we have now there are people, I can't say we, I mean, there's people independently going into the courtrooms and court watching. And if these commissioners or judges are violating the Constitution,
you're aware you could always go into court and watch them, right?
Then they are getting reported. We are not going to tolerate children being harmed in the system any longer.
The problem is that your definition of harm is different than the general definition of harm that a rational person would understand.
Total bullshit.
Ideally, kids are with their parents, but we live in the real world where not everyone is fit to be a parent. Many people aren't, and sometimes it comes to a situation where you need to protect the rights of the children and take them away from the parents. It sucks. It's not fun. I don't think anyone enjoys it. But nonetheless, it's a practical reality to protect the children.
We're done with that. And this year, 2026, we are doubling down. We are going to get names out. We are going to talk about specifics, proof. We are going to be bold. We are going to have no fear. And there really is no reason to fear. Fear is really their only tactic.
Fear is the mind killer.
And once they realize that you know what they're doing and they're trafficking our children in the background, then it's not.
The idea that Child and Family Services are trafficking children is absurd. It has never been substantiated by a single piece of evidence. It's just something that a lot of these people get hung up on because they can't face the fact that they lost their children, often due to their own action or inaction, so they have to come up with some other malicious reason that the court would have to take their kids that makes it no fault of their own. So it kind of fills multiple spaces on what they're going for. It villainizes the judge, so it makes them the bad guy. It absolves them of all of their potential guilt and reflection for having to think about what they've done to their kid, potentially, or how they're seen by other people for how they deal with their kid. So instead, they warp everything into this perverse story, this narrative where they're this good person who's never done anything wrong to their kids. And this judge is just an evil part of the cabal that's trying to traffic their child. Also absolves them even if they do think that some of what they've done is wrong, because they can go, yeah, sure, maybe I was a little rough on my kids, or I showed them tough love, parentheses, severe abuse. But at least I'm not trafficking them. It gives them a benchmark for which to compare themselves as a guardian, and basically anyone obviously looks better compared to trafficking. So, it absolves them in their mind.
Going to work anymore. People are waking up to what is happening in the background. And apparently also in news, Commissioner Megan Whitmire apparently and reportedly did not show up this week and had Commissioner Howell overseeing her cases. Now, I don't know if it was every single case, but like I said, we have court watchers in the room, and we're going to start reporting on these little anomalies that happen.
She was probably sick or had something come up. Even like judges, commissioners, council members, they're people with lives. Have you never had to call in sick?
You think maybe it's because she saw the rope buffet video, the music video, or maybe...
Oh yeah, she made an AI music video called Rope Buffet. That's probably pretty self-explanatory. Do I need to play that for you? Or do you kind of get from the title what's going on with it? Oh.
She's hearing about all of the moms and dads that are coming forward to...
Oh, I should explain this. It's not just that one song. Hold on. Let me show you. She started this radio thing. It's not actually radio, but she calls it radio. It's just a loop of all the AI songs she's one sec. Let's get
I'll
to
be
this
starting
ad.
full-time at Deloitte as a solutions analyst in their strategy and...
Shut up. So this is just, this video is 4 hours and 40 minutes of AI songs she's made, specifically about, like, council members and judges she doesn't like. All AI slop, of course.
The system turns its back. Corruption in the courthouse, it's a full-on heart attack. They swear to uphold the law.
Peoplord says, I have the opportunity of 1/16th of a lifetime. I have no job and live in Oahu. Igor... Consonance is going to be in court on May 27th for throwing the rock at the seal. Court open. Open court. Prep me. I'm nervous. Definitely go. Definitely go.
But the law's just for the poor while the connected walk free. Kicking down the door to cheer, take down, time to tear the bosses.
Let me see if I can find the rope buffet song.
His only plan, and Will McKay caught red-handed. Punching in the lot, stole a phone, attacked a man. Yeah, lane grit, yeah, that's what makes us stick. Stand up, stand tall. 6-4 network, still hunting our young. There's nothing we can do, just accept your fate. New state, income tax that no. All they do is act. Show up solo, no suit. I see observe.
Court, true blue crew. Her sis Angie protect the children.
Gotta find that fucking rope buffet song. Hold on. Let me see if it's on here. Rope buffet! Oh, horrifying, terrible AI. Oh, boy. Where'd it go? There it is. This is on YouTube, by the way. This is just up on YouTube.
Jerry Davis, pedo lawyer from the tri-state line. Suit like a halo, devil hiding deep inside. Con the CPS court for 2 boys, 5 and 3. Ripped from their mama, drowned in misery. Where's that rope, ropity rope? Swinging in the wind, gives me hope for our children now. Let the reckoning begin, time for that rope buffet.
She's trying to make cutesy folk songs about the day of the rope. Jitara says, oh, these aren't the kinds of ropes I was thinking about.
Hang the monsters high, military tribunals coming, watch the guilty fry. Megan Whitmire, she had no problem pleading for the pet. Sympathize, got a sentence lowered. Jerry Davis made his bed. I'm very fond.
Again, this is a very common, you guys know this, but it's notable, very common MAGA rhetorical tool to demonize their enemies by implying or just saying that they're pedophiles with no evidence. Kind of a no you thing, I guess.
On to Jerry, she said without a sigh, while 2 broken boys.
Why is she a kangaroo? Kangaroo court.
Carry scars that never die. Where's that rope, ropity rope? Swinging in the wind, gives me hope for our children now. Let the reckoning begin. Time.
This is a terrible question. I'm gonna assume the answer to. Like in Nazi Germany in like the 30s, were there like cutesy folk songs about like groups they hated like this? Obviously in German, but like, drinking song, and it's super anti-Semitic or something. Just curious if it's history rhyming or if this is a uniquely modern, weird thing for fascists.
Time for that rope buffet. Hang the monsters high, military tribunals coming, watch the the guilty fry.
Oh yeah, this is terrible AI music that was produced by a sovereign citizen. We're watching it because it shows her desire for violence against people she doesn't like. But yeah, we're very anti-AI on this channel, to be clear. We're not listening to this because we like AI.
One-on-one advocate behind those locked doors. Harm those little babies like he did their daddy before. Why keep re-offenders walking out the gate? It's time to raise the standard. It's time to serve a rope buffet. Where's that rope? Ropity rope. Swinging in the wind gives me hope for our children now. Let the reckoning begin. Time for that rope buffet.
Remember the creepy I-word pianist dude with all the racist ragtime tunes? Yes, and if you're gonna say something about it, I did see the song he did in the last month or so. I saw the comments on the page. That's a story for a different day.
Monsters high, military tribunals come and watch the guilty fry. I'm very fond of Jerry. Hang that lie up high for the boys who lost their childhood. Justice don't pass by.
Did I hear about the kick streamer that got arrested for shooting someone after talking about wanting to shoot someone? Cat reminds me of him in a way. Yeah, Chud the Builder.
Two little boys, 5 and 3.
Using children as props in order to justify violence against their political opponents.
Still waiting on the road buffet, but somehow Jerry walks free.
Yeah, so Cataspinda is an insane, violent person.
Who basically show what she's doing. She's the commissioner, the court.
I'm not a very popular streamer, but I do hope someday in the future, if someone's looking for resources on this kind of thing, they can look at my streams if they still exist as VODs in the far future, and see how fucked up this shit was, and how weirdly banal it is too. Like, we're so desensitized, like, this is so bad, but it's just been 10 years of getting beat down. It barely registers. Yeah, it's bad. I know.
Courtroom plier, the one that plies children away from their parents with no due process.
Well, these black robes don't like being in the spotlight. They don't want a bunch of eyeballs on what they're doing. And we saw this recently. You mentioned court watching. It's a lot of fun, by the way. And if you have the time on your hands, you should go do it. Watch the judge squirm, knowing that they're being watched, and you're making a difference. You are making sure that those cases are called down the middle as they should be, with regard for the truth of the matter. We're not getting that because these judges, these actors in robes, why are we calling them judges?
Yeah, they're not judges.
Because they're judges.
They're hearing officers, they're admins, they're secretaries. Like, they do not have the authority over the Constitution to steal and kidnap children from parents' arms. They just don't have it.
They have the ability to do what they're doing. It's legally allowed. States are allowed to have agencies like that. The Constitution doesn't prevent them from doing such.
And they've gotten so used to getting away with it. Both the judges, the actors in the robes, and the lawyers. Mason Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see that name a lot here. We have seen that name a lot, and I imagine we're going to see a lot more of it in the coming weeks and months.
Yeah. Kaylee Hales Davenport is another one that we're hearing a lot about. And apparently she's not getting her way either right now in court. You didn't see.
All right. On the Twitch live chat, or rather on the Discord live chat, someone does say, "Welp, I had to check, and yes, there are tons of anti-Semitic folk songs from the 30s and 40s in Germany. Probably some in America, too. Anti-Semitism was definitely a thing in America at the time. Still is now, but it was very socially acceptable at the time, unfortunately.
See, these people have been getting their way. If you practice deception as a way to make your living, then it's going to come back on you. Energy always returns to itself, always.
Don't forget, Kat really hates, quote, banks and, quote, bankers. Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get to the video. Now, the reason I played that first video as our intro, because again, no commissioner showing up at the Prosser courthouse, and it's like the second week of the month, which that's typically they're there the second week of the month. I think the third is they're not. And we looked at the calendar. We see that there is 1 week that they are not, probably because it's a 5-week month. So they're only doing it 4 of those weeks. So there's going to be 1 week. I'm still going to have a show of the 2-tiered takedown, but it's going to be an interview. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that one.
Does Kat ever go overt hard J? I've not seen her do it, but I have the vibe. I'm pretty sure if you were able to get her off the record, I think she would be more open about it. Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, children have rights. They think they're property. Indeed.
But without further ado, Kennewick, we're going to go ahead and move.
Nathan Thompson was similar, the flat earther. Never on camera did he get explicit with JQ stuff until they did a documentary about him and he got really drunk and they filmed him for the documentary. But like in videos he put out, he never was like mask off.
Move forward, but before we do, I need to tell you this. It was a complete shit show, okay? Tuesday, the Benton County Commissioners meeting. So they weren't there. You were there. Marcy Torres was in Prosser to speak. We were able to get her voice clearly, but Marie Redout had also spoke, and she actually attended Kennewick where they were at. All 3 of them left their mics on. So
echoes.
It just echoes so bad. I'll show you just a little tidbit of it so that you get a taste of either the actual incompetence or full on conspiracy against we the people. Like it's starting to really.
The audio issues are a conspiracy against we the people.
We feel like a
their poor IT guy, or sorry, not IT, AV guy.
Conspiracy, which is unlawful and illegal.
It's intentional, it feels.
Like when Richard Spencer got caught on record after Charlottesville going on a drunken rant. Oh, I remember that.
It happens too often.
It happens too often.
Too many snafus, too many technical issues. There's always something wrong at these meetings since we started showing up. Very interesting.
So presumably something goes wrong all the time and you just only see it when you're there. Because, it's like a normal city council meeting. I'm sure there are technical issues. Like, what are you talking about?
Very interesting. And then the Franklin County Commissioners, which you're going to hear because is it the county, is it the administrator, Brian Damsel, Brian Damsel. He speaks up about the inconsistency of the Tri-City Herald. And, what else do we get from the Tri-City Herald? It's all lies and deception. I mean, they're just a propaganda machine, and all their advertisers are the big pharma. It's all part of the system.
I'm sorry, are you going to the council meeting or the commissioner meeting to complain about the local newspaper? What?
To keep us dumbed down so that we never...
This goes all the way up to the top. Local print journalism. Famously, they have all the power.
Know the truth. Well, we the people are rising up with no fear, and we are asking people across the nation to start attending your county commissioner or your board of supervisors meetings and start using your God-given instrument, your voice, protected by the First Amendment, the first one, by the way, because these people do not have authority over we the people, and if they do, they can...
They do. You have recourse to vote them out, But while they are elected, they do have power because they were elected by the people in that place.
Try to prove it.
Well, we keep asking.
Cat's video is quiet compared to me. Thanks, I'll turn it up.
We keep asking, by what authority in writing can you provide to us that a judge can steal or kidnap a child out of a mom or dad's arm without due process?
So CPS exists. Should I just write that on a piece of paper for you? And it's allowed to exist, and no lawsuits have ever successfully deemed it unconstitutional or unlawful? Again, do you want me to write that down? Would that help you?
Violate the 14th Amendment. Please.
How does it violate the 14th Amendment?
Riddle me this, Batman. But a child out of a mom or dad's arm without due process. Violate the 14th Amendment. Please riddle me this, Batman. But nobody can show it to us. In other words, we are under a criminal cartel. These judges are trafficking our children.
No, they're not. They're being taken by family court.
And it's time that we stop pussyfooting.
Without due process. Looks inside extended court proceeding. Don't you know due process is when I get everything I want and you leave me alone?
Around this issue. Because our children, every single day, children are getting harmed in the system all across.
Pterodonus is bothering your local council won't get your house, you lost back cat.
The country. I've had thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of comments from people who said, this is happening to me in Michigan. This is happening to me in California. This is happening to
Riddle me this, chat. What does an upside down turkey do?
in Florida. No, you know what? It's happening in every
I'm no Frank Gorshin.
Single county in our country, all 3,100 plus counties in our country.
It gobbles up. It gobbles up.
So
I didn't write that. That's actually from 60s Batman.
We're not going to get justice inside the courts. We need to start showing up and using our voices and exposing.
Frank Gorshin is still the best Riddler. Agreed.
These bad actors trafficking our children. So I'm going to go ahead and just play what we have for Benton County. Again, they do everything under the sun to discourage people from coming. They have no transparency. They bark at you. They do nothing. They put it in writing and they admitted it on the record. It's absolutely unbelievable. They really do earn their do nothing squad title. So anyways, here we go.
Let's rock.
Let's rock.
Awesome. Do we have someone, Robert?
Did I enjoy the Batman with Robert Pattinson? I did. I thought it was great. I do like that version of Riddler, but I don't think he really comes into his own until the end when he takes the mask off and it's just kind of him in jail. I think that's when I'm like, okay, that's the Riddler. That's the Riddler. But yeah, I really liked the Batman. Robert Pattinson was a really great younger Bruce Wayne. I'm interested to see what the sequel's gonna do, because I can already kind of in my head see where the narrative arc might go with him, and I'm really, really interested. So I hope they don't drop the ball and really finish up this trilogy or do this trilogy solidly.
They can go to the podium and speak at this time.
Good morning.
Thoughts on Jim Carrey's Riddler? In a better movie, he could have been okay. Like, he can certainly play the Frank Gorshin type Riddler, but that movie is just not very good, unfortunately. I can still watch it and enjoy it. Like, it's a silly little kids Batman movie. It's fine, but it's not as good as the first two. Originally, Robin Williams was supposed to play the Riddler when Tim Burton was still going to make the third Batman movie, and I would love to see what that would have looked like.
All right. Okay. Perfect.
Just a Peach with a tip says, my family had 3 of my siblings for 2 years. Well, the due process worked, and then we adopted them. The foster care system can work. 4 of my siblings are proof. Oh, that's good.
Good morning.
Marcy, the stories, are you there? They can hear us?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
It would look like 1 hour photo. 1 hour photo's good. I like that movie. Underrated.
Is it good to go?
Yeah, you should be good.
Okay. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Marcy Torres, and I am from Franklin County. This morning, I wanted to go on here and congratulate Norma Rodriguez.
Batman Forever is a great drag show. It's very camp. If you're in the mood for camp, it's great. It's great. I don't actually hate Joel Schumacher. He's done great movies. He's just also done some not so great movies, but overall I like him.
It has been months that I have been coming into these rooms to make everyone aware of the fact that she's not recusing herself from cases where there is a clear conflict of interest. I do know that conflicts of interest are a big deal because we have cases, that we know of that have been transferred to other counties because of conflicts of interest. I also would like to let everyone know that we have been going to the parks and letting people know what is going on in family court. And this also includes prosecutors that have not been doing their job in Benton and Franklin counties. I'm going to talk to you today about Mike Rio. He is running for the bench.
All right, I don't give a fuck about this particular lady, if I'm being honest. Probably done with Kat. We have other stuff to look at today. What else do we have? I don't think we've ever watched Richard Vobes on this channel before, have we?
Well, on this particular occasion, I was
Are we about
just
halfway
minding
in? We're actually further than halfway in because I'm doing a shorter stream today. But if you could, do me a favor, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Hype the stream if you can. And if you want to support the stream, you can always use memberships, super chats, and on Twitch, you can use subscriptions and bits. Altered Undying says, Joel is camp and horror. Warner Brothers made him take out all the horror, so they got all the gay. Yeah.
own business, and somebody said to me, hey...
He still made the best vampire movie of all time, though, so he's got that going for him, which is pretty good.
Richard, have you got a moment? And I noticed out of the gloom came this rather unusual-looking fella. He had this sort of dark floppy hat, a big, long black coat, and a sort of long Gandalf-style beard. And he said to me, let me buy you a drink. I want to tell you something. He said, you've almost got it, but not quite. And I want to tell you the greatest secret. And I thought, oh, okay.
I'm really surprised you didn't get kicked, Zane. That's crazy.
We went...
What vampire movie did he make? Lost Boys.
Into a pub, and we bought a couple...
Falling Down, also great. That's on the list of movies that a lot of people don't get, like Fight Club or American Psycho, I guess. But Falling Down's a good movie.
The Veils, and he took me to the very back.
Flatliners. He did Flatliners, which is pretty good.
Of the pub, in one of the darkest alcoves, where he said we couldn't be overheard. And we sat...
He did the... unfortunately, he did the Phantom of the Opera adaptation, which is quite bad.
Down, and as we sat down, he reached into a bag and pulled out a board. And he opened this board, and I noticed it was a game. It was Monopoly. And he said, don't worry, I'll be as quick as I can. So as we sat down and we were drinking, and he was bringing out all of the little silver playing things, you know, the top hat and the dog and the train and the iron, and then...
Didn't they replace one of them? I think they got rid of the thimble or something.
There were the community chest cards and the other ones, and then there was some of the Monopoly.
Is this getting to a point? Yes, he's trying to teach sovereign citizen bullshit through a parable.
Money, which he was just sorting out into different piles. And I thought, well, this is interesting. And he said, oh, pick a character, whichever character you like. So I looked down and I thought, actually, the top hat. I quite like the top hat. That would be lovely. So he said, do you know, your parents have done you a very big disservice in life. And I said, oh, really? What do you mean? He said, they informed on you. And I said, oh, I don't understand. What do you mean they informed on me? He said, when you were born, they informed the government about you. They took you to a building, a government building, and there, some 14 days after you were born.
Oh, that's funny, because he's English, so to him a hospital is a government building. That's so funny that it would never apply to the US, because our hospitals are not generally government buildings. They're for profit, private. Everything's great.
They told a registrar about you, and they gave away your legal title.
Wait, is Joel Schumacher dead? You were upset at the bat nipple jokes when he died. When did Joel Schumacher die?
And I said,
I missed that one, if that genuinely happened. Oh,
I
shit.
understand what you mean. They said, well, the registrar filled in a certificate, did they not? They filled in your name, and your parents were the informants. I said, oh, that's...
He died a while ago? Wow, that 2020. Wow. Did we watch this before? I don't think we've ever watched him on the channel, but I'll trust you on that. He's just going over basic opposite stuff anyway. Vobes is one of those grifters that basically only has any success in the conspiracy space because Americans take him seriously because he has an English accent. So that's fun.
Realm of business and government.
This guy isn't around anymore. He passed away, but he used to be a pretty big sovereign citizen guru guy.
In the realm of business and government and education, I will guarantee you, you have no idea in the world how banks really work. And I will guarantee you, you have no idea in the world how government actually, in fact, works. We all have a cursory understanding of what we think is going on. That's not it. Once you begin to see how words and terms and symbols are used, and the powers that be in this world have set up a world of symbols and emblems and terms and catchphrases. Once you understand how this system works, for the first time, the world opens up to you. All of it is right in front of you. But if you don't understand what the words are, what the words mean, you're never going to figure out how this stuff works. There's a very sinister, frightening, interesting symbolism that has been imposed upon this country, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. And I will guarantee you, no matter how educated you might think you are, I will guarantee you, you have no idea in the world how the world actually works.
Ah!
You need to understand that when, even on your check, when you're writing a check, the place where you put your name on a check, look at that line, what you're signing on, and get a magnifying glass, and you will find that's not a solid line to sign your name on. That is written, it's a typewritten sentence that's been honed down to Microsoft.
Any line on a piece of paper that's printed, if you zoom in far enough, is going to be a dotted line because of the nature of printing. Like, that's every line, if you look close enough.
Side. Get a magnifying glass and read on a check what is said where you sign your name. One of the most interesting symbols in Druidism was a magic wand. Magic wands...
Does he mean, like, small security text?
...were always made out of the wood of...
Yes, I was talking about printing, not laser printing. I was thinking about... I guess I don't know, because laser printing is printing. How would I differentiate the two? I guess inkjet printing is what I was thinking of.
A holly tree, made out of hollywood. And we're still seeing the magic of the wood of the holly tree. Hollywood. Hollywood. Motion pictures, television. I have discovered many years ago that words and magical systems dominate the world that we live in.
Oh, he's just literally saying it. That's interesting. Sovereign citizens these days don't normally come out and say explicitly, the world is full of magic spells, and these words work as spells, because, you know, on the face of it, it's crazy. It's a weird way to describe language.
There is, in point of fact, a magical matrix at work.
The matrix on the bingo card?
I've always been interested in the occult. Occult is simply a word meaning hidden, and so much of our powers in this world and the way things work are hidden. And the more one looks at this subject of how the world actually works, you begin to see that there's a magical system, and I'm telling you, there really is a magical system dominating the world of the Western civilization. And for 1,000 years before the Roman Empire existed in Northern Europe, basically Western Europe, there was a magical priesthood called the Druids. And the Druids still even exist to this day.
Is he gonna ascribe actual magic powers to the Druids?
And it was a very legitimate political, social, educational, religious institution dominating Europe for thousands of years. And they were referred to as the Druids. They were actually from the Phoenician Canaanite system in the Middle
What? No.
East. The Phoenician Canaanites formed the basis for the ancient Druidic system. And
Druids were specific to like northern, was it Druids? Was that Ireland? Was it where is it? Wales? Was it fucking Wales?
that's even older.
Just all over modern England. Okay.
But in the ancient Druidic
Unless someone corrects that.
system, there were many powerful symbols.
Ireland and Wales. Okay. Alden Undying says, oh, buddy, that's not magic. That's called being neurotypical. Can't relate.
And emblems. One of the most interesting symbols in Druidism was a magic wand, like Merlin the magician with his magic wand. Magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly.
Okay. Druids originated in the ancient Celtic societies of Western Europe, particularly Gaul, modern-day France, and the British Isles.
Tree. It was made out of holly wood. And we're still seeing the magic of the wood of the holly tree. Hollywood, motion pictures, television. And once you begin to see the symbols and realize that the symbols for the national coats of arms for countries, the flags, the seals, the presidential seals, the emblems for the logos and emblems on corporations, especially the corporate emblems for motion pictures and television companies like Columbia Broadcasting System. CBS has the eye. The Columbia...
I'm sorry, do you not understand why a company that was billed to be a television network, vision, as in you watch it with your eyes, you don't understand why they used an eyeball symbol? Okay.
System goes back to the Columbian faction of the Illuminati back in the early 1700s, not the late 1700s. And you begin to see why space shuttle is called Columbia. You have Columbia University, Columbia...
Wow, this guy's pretty good at just, like, connecting things that have no connection. He's, like, he does it smoothly.
Yeah. Pictures, Columbia Broadcasting, Columbia...
Again, it's bullshit, but I'm saying rhetorically, the way he is actually presenting this information is, like, seamless.
Very interesting word, and it's connected to the Jesuits. Once you begin to see how words and terms and symbols...
The Jesuits and their stupid new cocky...
are used, and of course symbols are extraordinarily important in world affairs. All of a sudden, it opens up, as I said, a whole new perspective on how stuff is happening. Let me give you an example of how words, my friend William Henry says you put an S in front of the word word and it becomes swords. The words are swords. They are cutting things. Humans are word responsive creatures. We respond to people's words.
Yeah, that's not magic. That's called communication. We're a social species that have developed complex language that no other species seems to have on this planet, not to the level of detail that we do, in order to communicate very complex ideas relatively succinctly. It's not magic, it's an adaptation. We're very social. We have to communicate. People can be convinced by words. They can be moved by words. It's not magic. It's communication.
When you begin to see how words are used, let me give you an example of the magic. Why do you have to go to court?
Because you were subpoenaed or arrested.
You go to court because you play basketball on a court. You play tennis on a court. How do you play?
Someone earlier who said it was making a joke about tennis court, and you play with a racket, and it's all a racket. Good call.
Play tennis on a court. You play with a racket. Why? Because
You cannot parody crazy people. It's impossible. I've tried. I've been trying for years. You can't do it. They'll always out-stupid you. They will always be stupider than you are funny, and there's nothing funnier than honest stupidity.
the people that develop it know it's a racket. That's where we get the term. Consequently, you need to understand that the words which are used by the systems under which we live are not by chance. In a court, the whole idea in a court is to put the ball back in the other guy's court. So this team of attorneys, they stand up and throw the ball back at the other team. Now the ball's in their court. They have
Pre-watched? How would someone in the chat pre-watch a video that they didn't know I was gonna play? I haven't even watched this yet. This video has 105 views. I do not think that they saw this video.
to get up and throw the ball back into that court. The judge wears a black robe. Why does a judge wear a black robe? Well, the same reason Catholic priests wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes. You wear a black robe. For many years, young people graduating from university and college wear a black robe. What's this stuff with a black robe? Let me give you an example of how this stuff...
You know that judges in other countries have different colored robes, right? Like, you're being very America-centric right now and acting as though that's how all legal systems function.
Works, and it's a very quick example. There are two basic kinds of law under the law of magic. There are two kinds of laws that govern the earth. One is called the law of the land, L-A-N-D. And we've heard that term, law of the land. Why do you use that term, the law of the land? Because that's where people live, is on land. But there's an opposing law which is far more important, far, far more powerful.
The law of the sea? Maritime law?
It is called the law of water. It was developed under the old Druidic system in Europe, which...
Famously, we all follow Druidic law, right? Famously, we all follow Druidic law here in the United States, where Druids have never been. Altered Undying says, we used to, sobs.
Which can trace its history back through the Roman Empire, through the Vatican, and ultimately back to the Phoenician Canaanites and the Middle...
Hannah's a witch. No! I've just devoted my life to understanding delusions, which is certainly a choice.
Least of what we today call Phoenician...
I wish there was something functional I could do with this skill and knowledge.
Cana was called...
Guess I'll shitpost. Freyline, what do you want me to wear for the hats off?
Back what we call today Israel and Lebanon. Syria, that was called Phoenicia, Cana. And the Phoenician
and
Canaanites,
a juggle.
so the very word Cana, which we've
With
all...
chat, okay.
heard in relation to the Bible.
I'll do the juggle real quick first.
As a Phoenician word meaning bankers, merchant bankers. Well, the Phoenician Canaanites set up a system of merchant banking and had their Phoenician Canaanite symbols and words connected to their societies, their banking societies. We're talking about in the Middle East. And then through the Greece and ultimately through Rome and then into Britannia and ultimately into this country.
Always with the bankers.
Druidic, Phoenician Canaanite magical system of finance, education, and all of it is right in front of you. But if you don't understand what the words are and what the words mean, you're never going to figure out how this stuff works. We all have a cursory understanding of what we think is going on. That's not it. You need to understand that when even on your check, when you're writing a check, the place where you put your name on a check, look at that line, what you're signing on, and get a magnifying glass, and you will find that's not a solid line to sign your name on. That is written. It's a typed written sentence that's been honed down to microscopic.
Johnny says if Hannah weighs the same as a duck, woo, I wouldn't want to come across that duck in a dark alley. Woo, that'd be a big duck. Gothgeek Gaming says, just got back from seeing an open captions viewing of Mandalorian and Grogu. Here are my penance bits for being late. You are forgiven.
Size. Get a magnifying glass and read on a check what is said where you sign your name. That's why the attorneys tell you, you better check the small print. The small print is ultra small where you sign.
Like, he thinks it works like the Santa Claus, where it's like you got a magnifying glass to see the print. No, that's not how contracts work.
Your name on a check is...
You cannot not disclose parts of a contract surreptitiously.
Saying something. Go back and read it. You need to understand that according to the old Phoenician Canaanite system, which we call today our judicial, educational and judicial system, there is no law in this country or in the Western world, no law, federal, state, county, city, commercial, it makes no difference. There is no law on the books anywhere in this country that applies to you as an individual creature. There is no law.
Incorrect?
Because the people...
Think's a little weird if there was just no law, man.
People who designed the system thousands of years ago realized that there's
never been a single human society beyond the level of like a village where you know everyone. I'm talking about like civilization, where you are at the point where you no longer know everyone in your community. You know, there's a level of anonymity, there's a leadership structure, there's an economy beyond just like agrarian stuff. Anyway, every single society in human history has had some sort of law. Basically since... I always do this. I always remember the Hammurabi Code, but not the one before it. There was one before it. But anyway, basically since human civilization has been a thing, humans have created rules to govern society. It's like a human thing. And even before that, there were rules. They were just less formal because, you know, it was a community thing.
Two of you. There's the one that your mother gave birth to, that God created, so to speak. And even your mother didn't know what you were doing. Even your father and your mother have no idea what you're thinking or what you will do. You don't even know. So consequently, they have no control over you, your flesh and blood self. But somebody has to control this show. And so consequently, the ancient Phoenician Canaanites developed a system by which they would assign to every person a second you. And this is the...
No. Just a Peach says, the Czech microprinting was to keep people from passing photocopies of them. I learned this in a training video at McDonald's in 1998. Can you imagine if you went into a McDonald's in 2026 and tried to pay with a check? That would be hilarious. If you write checks at stores, what's wrong with you? I understand for certain purchases it makes sense if it's like a very large purchase or something for some bills, but like, You go into a retail store or a restaurant and pay with a check. How's your back doing? Are you excited that you're almost eligible for Social Security?
The way it works in America, there is two of you. Just as there are two states in this country, of every state is two states. You have the state of Nevada and Nevada State. You have Cal State, California State, and State of California. Not the same thing at
Also, you know what sucks? My parents made me, like, sit down and, like, my parents aren't great. They're terrible for a lot of reasons. This isn't actually terrible. This is just a funny complaint. They made me sit down as a kid with them when they balanced their checkbook to teach me because it was definitely something I was going to have to do someday. And you just don't have to do that anymore. Does anyone balance their checkbook? I don't remember the last time I used a personal check. I've never gone through a full thing of checks in my life.
At all. California State, according to the law, is one thing. State of California is totally different. Has nothing to do with each other at all. It's the difference between being a lawyer and an attorney. Has nothing to do with them at all. It's totally separate words, means totally separate things. Consequently, when you understand how words and terms are used and symbols are used, then we go back to the idea of the court. And as I said, there is no law in this country on any books that applies to you.
All of them apply to you.
None.
All of them apply to anyone, in theory, if our country wasn't corrupt and ruled by wealthy billionaires and millionaires who hate the poor.
All
Sorry, I'm on my bullshit again.
Law in the Western civilization applies only to cooperations, co-ops. All law applies only to corporations, period. Across the board. No other, end of sentence.
It's an incorrect sentence. Alton Undying says, so I talked to my proud Irish Reconstructionist pagan husband, did not react well to this guy's take.
Consequently, there is no law that applies to you personally, so consequently, the system has made each one of you a corporation. And how now do you distinguish which one, when someone's addressing you, that they're addressing you as the one that your mother gave birth to, or the corporate you? Very simple. According to British law, when you sign your name, upper and lower case, that is applying to your body, your flesh and blood cell.
I'm assuming none of this is true for English law, just like it's not true for American law.
Is spelled, according to British and American law, upper and lower case, capital letter, lower case. That's you, your personal self. There is no law that can be applied to an upper and lower case name.
What year is this guy? This is from 1999 at the Bay Area UFO Expo.
Period. No law at all can be applied to an upper and lower case name because there is no law over you. Therefore, every piece of important bills, insurance, driver's license, identification, taxes, I don't care what it is. If it's a piece of business.
Sorry, this is another thing that just kind of gets to me and throws me off a little bit thinking about it. Before computer systems and stuff, you could just, like, if you were in a town you'd never been to, you're traveling across the country, you just go into a store and be like, I'll have this, 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 and that. And then you could, like, sign a check and give it to them. And it could just be, like, be bullshit. How are they going to check it? How are they going to check the check? I mean, eventually they would, but they can't, like, in that moment. So they just have to take your word for it and take the check and be like, okay. That's nuts.
Period. In any kind of way, shape, or form. Your name.
A lot of places wouldn't accept foreign checks. Does foreign in this context mean out of state?
Name must, by law, international maritime admiralty banking law, your name must appear in all capital letters.
British and Commonwealth law makes no distinction between the capitalization of names. I figured not.
You will never get a bill or anything that has your name upper and lowercase, because there is no law that applies to an upper and lowercase name, period. So if Sears is going to send you a bill, if you go into Baskin Robbins or Sears,
Wow, Sears mention. This is an old video.
And you order a pair
This video is almost as old as me.
of shoes, what are you going to do? They're going to give you a ticket. And you're going to
Did
put
he
it
die in debt to the IRS? I would imagine so.
on your bill, and then they're expecting you to pay the bill. And consequently,
Did you guys know that there are still people holding Sears stock that think they're going to be rich? It's very few at this point. It's not even really a community. It's like 3 guys. But those 3 guys really think they're going to be made whole from their Sears stock. I know about them because they also got involved in Bed Bath & Beyond. So they're really good at stocks.
well, they're going to charge you. Well, that's the same thing. You go into a courtroom. They're going to read out the charges. And the cop gave you the ticket. And you have been charged with speeding or whatever. And therefore you have to pay the charge. Well, once you understand that in America, according to our laws in America, you cannot pay a bill. Did you know that?
That's literally not true.
According to international banking law,
international banking law.
Americans cannot pay a bill.
Except they do. I get them, I pay them, they're paid. Works out for me. I get electricity and power and internet and trash service, all because I paid those bills, or because Baja paid those bills.
You say, well, I got to pay this, I'll pay that bill. Well, that's a term that we use, but in point of fact, lawfully, you cannot pay a bill. You can discharge a debt.
Oh, so this is a semantics thing? You're just arguing semantics?
Cannot pay a bill.
Remember the Sears Christmas wish book that would come out in August? I loved those things. I loved them.
So consequently,
Amazon does them now. I get them every year.
You need to
They're not as good because I'm in my 30s and not a child anymore.
understand, what do you mean discharge a debt? Now it gets back to the court again. Now it gets back to the symbols and emblems of why the judge wears a black robe. It has to do with the planet Saturn. Saturn is the god that inhibits. He's the inhibitor and the law god, the god of law who inhibits, who holds back.
We still see conspiracy theorists talking about Saturn in woo-woo ways. It's interesting seeing how these narratives of conspiracy belief shift over the decades. Like, they're still pretty much the same bullet points, but they shift and contort.
He holds back everything and teaches you a lesson the hard way. Saturn. And women were told in the ancient world to listen to their god Saturn, who incidentally was called Lord of the Rings. Okay? And consequently, they're still making movies.
Did they even know that Saturn had rings in ancient Greece? Why would it be called the Lord of the Rings? I've literally never heard that term applied to the god Saturn, ever. I think he's just making that up.
He's in Hollywood on Lord of the Rings, the planet Saturn. Women were told to listen to
Because, like, in ancient Greece, they didn't even know what other planets were. They thought they were stars that moved around, you know?
God, the Lord of the Rings. So they were wearing an ear ring.
Altered Undying says, when I'm drawing a historical outfit, I like to look at what Sears had a couple of years before.
Men were to get married before Saturn, their god, so they would wear a wedding ring. Consequently, the king...
Galileo was the first to see the rings. Did he invent the compound telescope?
Would be crowned before Saturn.
Or was that a different one?
Would be the round crown or the corona, the ring. Saturn, the god who is the inhibitor, the god of occult law, the mystical god Saturn, Lord of the Rings, who is in charge of and controls all occult law in the universe.
When did Fellowship of the Ring come out? Does anyone know? Is he bringing up Lord of the Rings because it's a popular movie when this came out?
This is why today we know that Saturn was
2001? Okay, no.
referred to as El. E-L. L is a name.
Just a Peach says, traveler's checks were a thing when you traveled well into the early 2000s, yeah, and cashier's checks are still a thing. I know.
That was given to the planet Saturn. And therefore...
That's funny. El is one of the gods that turned into, like, Elohim, right? Or is this a completely separate thing?
If you are worshiping...
No, this would be a separate thing.
Saturn, you represent the law. You are referred to in church today as an elder. How did you get to be an elder? You got to be an elder because you were one of the elites. How did you get to be an elite? You got elected. Because through elections, all of our system is based on occult, mystical words and terms going back to the...
Yeah, Saturn couldn't be El. The timeline doesn't make sense.
Planet Saturn, going back to the Phoenician Canaanite system of banking. Incidentally, where do you find a bank? We go to banks all the time. Where do you find a bank? Banks are on both sides of a river. They're called river banks. What does a river bank do? It directs the flow of the
currency.
Currency. Your money is referred to as the currency. This is why when you go to court, you have the current, electricity, because it's the juice. And if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't
you just don't have the juice.
Have the juice, you can't capitalize. And the capital is a Latin word meaning money. There's a very sinister, frightening, interesting symbolism that has been imposed upon this country, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. All goes back to the Phoenician Canaanite system and ancient Phoenicia, ancient Babylonian Sumeria, and this is why the work of Zechariah Sitchin is so important. This is where the kings of England get their concept of the divine right of kings. What are you talking about, divine right? All of this is part of a subject which I call...
I thought divine right of kings was the belief that the king was chosen by God. Pharaohs were considered gods in their own right, correct? So they wouldn't be the divine... I guess it's still a divinity thing. Maybe I'm being pedantic.
All ancient
I guess I mostly think of divine right of kings in, like, European history type stuff. I don't know.
That dominates the Western civilization.
In general, assume you're right and he's wrong. That's not a good way to go. I don't know about this just because he doesn't. Okay. Cool beans. Did we cover this one?
Okay, were you on duty on May
He looks familiar.
24th, 2024 at approximately 9 p.m.?
I was.
What was the weather like at that time?
Weather that day was clear, and it was still light outside.
The road conditions?
Dry.
Okay. And you were on patrol at that time?
I was.
You were in a marked patrol car?
I was.
Where were you on patrol?
I was patrolling the downtown area near 11 Mile in Washington.
That's in the city of Royal Oak?
It is.
What happened at that time at those crossroads?
I was stopped at the 11 Mile and Washington light facing westbound. I had a green arrow and a vehicle proceeded eastbound mile through a light, which gained my attention. That light was red for them, which drew my attention to that vehicle.
Okay, what type of vehicle was that?
I believe it was a black 2024 Ford Edge.
Is your vehicle equipped with a dash cam? Judge, at this time, I'd like to play that video from Officer Moran's dash cam.
Okay.
Officer Moran, you can see that video?
Oh, I love when there's video.
I can. Yep.
Okay. Just playing that video now, Judge.
Okay.
Oh, what are you... okay, that's not... Why did... Oh, okay, you're pulling them over from there, so that's fine. I was wondering why he was turning left before the people on the other side came through.
Is that the video taken from your patrol car?
That is the vehicle for my patrol vehicle.
Does that fairly and accurately portray the events of the incident that led to the defendant being issued a civil infraction on that date and time?
It does.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that video be admitted into evidence.
All right, so admitted.
Officer, so what do you see on that video?
What I see, like I spoke to earlier, I was stopped at the 11 Mile at Washington light facing westbound. I got the green arrow to turn southbound on Washington when a vehicle proceeded eastbound through, obviously, the red light.
So he ran a red
and
light.
Then you pulled that vehicle over.
I'm sorry, just pay the ticket. You're doing the sovereign citizen thing over running a red light. It's not a good thing to do. Don't do that on purpose. I guess it happens accidentally sometimes, but that's not safe. But you're wasting time on this?
Yes, I immediately initiated a traffic stop.
And that was on 11 Mile in the city of Royal Oak?
It was, yep.
When you approached that vehicle, did you observe the driver of that vehicle?
I did.
Do you recognize the driver of that vehicle on this Zoom today?
I do.
He objects.
What's your objection?
I object. It's devastating to my case.
Because I was traveling.
Of course, that's all you had to say. You're free to go, sir.
I wasn't driving.
Okay, overruled. Go ahead.
You traveled through a red light.
You can answer the question, Officer Moran.
Yes, I do see the defendant in the court today.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that Officer Moran has identified the defendant, Anthony Mathis.
The record will so reflect.
When you pulled the defendant over, did you have a conversation with him?
I did.
And in that conversation, did he admit to you that he had driven through the red light?
He did.
And ultimately you issued him a ticket?
I did.
What was that ticket for that you had issued him?
I actually issued him an impeding traffic ticket.
Okay. But that's not what he actually did, correct?
No, that's not.
Why did you issue him the impeding traffic ticket?
Mr. Mathis at the time had a good driving record. He knew what he did. He told me he admitted to it, and he had a good attitude on the road. So I chose to go an impeding traffic ticket.
I object.
What's your objection?
I never admitted to anything.
He's explaining why he whatever.
Did you guys pull that up? Did I admit it to something?
You'll have a chance to.
That's false.
Mr. Mathis, you'll have a chance. Your objection's overruled. This is his testimony from his memory. You'll have a chance to testify yourself and add any additional evidence here. So at this point, that is not a proper objection. It's overruled. Anything else to add there to that?
What, just very briefly, Judge, what infraction did you actually observe?
I could have wrote him two infractions, either disobey traffic control device or disobey traffic signal.
And that's what he actually did, correct?
Correct.
Judge, I have nothing further at this time.
Now, Mr. Mathis, it's your opportunity to ask Officer Moran any questions that you feel are necessary. Now, I just want to instruct you. You'll have a chance to testify if you choose to in a moment. Right now, anything that you say should be in the form of a question directed at the officer. If you're going to start testifying, I'm going to have to interrupt you and redirect you. You'll have that chance in a moment. It's just to ask questions. So go ahead with any.
This never goes well. They never know how to not opine. They don't know how to correctly form the questions, so they're not leading. They usually put too many questions on a single statement.
Questions you have.
All right. Well, for the record, is there any injured party? Do we have a sworn affidavit or complaint from an injured party?
Hey, fun fact, you don't need one here. That's the cool part. You were charged by way of information, which is allowed.
No, there's no injured party.
Okay, so we don't have any injured party. So Judge,
You can't talk to you can't.
you've been sworn in to uphold the Constitution, correct?
Oh, embarrassing.
This isn't. You're not. I'm not on the stand. I'm not answering.
Yeah,
any
you
questions
can't
like that, Mr. Moran.
do
Or
this.
Mr. Mathis, excuse me.
So what type of court is this? Is this amateur?
This is cross-examination. You should be cross-examining the cop who is the witness.
The maritime law?
Mr. Mathis, right now is your opportunity to ask Officer Moran any questions that you want to. If you're going to make some legal objections or something along those lines, you can do that in your closing. But right now, this moment in time is for you to ask Officer Moran any questions.
Okay, well, for the record, we don't have any injured parties.
Hey.
Correct?
Judge, that's been asked and answered.
Sustained. He already answered that question.
Right, correct. I just wanted to make sure that we got that on the record. So if there's no injured party here, then why are we here?
Because you don't understand how the law works.
No,
Judge, I don't think that's an appropriate question for Officer Moran.
That's nothing about like his personal knowledge. What are we doing here? I ask myself that all the time. Wouldn't ask this guy though. I don't think he has the answer.
Hang on, Mr. Mathis. When there's just like when you made an objection, we all waited for the court to make a ruling. That's what you need to do. So Mr. Kluzny just made an objection that your question was actually more of a legal argument. I think that's what your objection was, Mr. Kluzny, correct?
Yes, I don't believe, Judge, I don't believe there was a question directed to the officer.
So I'm sustaining that objection. And again, you can make those legal arguments or whatever the case is that you want to make at the end. Right now, it's just questions or not to Officer Moran. Anything else?
No, that's the only question that I have. If there's no injured party, he said no one was injured.
All right. So, Mr. Kluzny, would you like to call any additional witnesses? I should ask you first, any redirect of office?
You shouldn't be pro se ever, but especially if you don't know what counts as a defense. Like, literally, that's not even a defense.
Not at this time, Judge.
All right. Then any additional witnesses, Mr. Kluzny?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mathis, will you be testifying, or do you have any witnesses that you'd like to call on your behalf?
No, I don't.
All right. Mr. Kluzny, then your closing statement?
Judge, based on the testimony of Officer Moran and the video, it's clear by a preponderance of evidence that the defendant committed the offense of disobeying a traffic signal. The authority.
Frankly, this is almost so simple as a case, I think it'd be hard to articulate the closing arguments because it's so simple. Like, literally. Well, he did it on camera, and the cop testified to it. He's not denying it.
Authority for the stop comes from MCL 257.611 or 257.612. I believe that's for the traffic control device. The video in this case could not be more clear, Judge. You see the Officer Moran is in the left turn lane. He gets a green arrow, and the defendant in his vehicle has a red light, drives right through the red light. If Officer Moran didn't stop, he would have hit the defendant's vehicle because he went right through the red light. It's rare that we have a video that is as clear as this, Judge. And the officer tried to give him a break by writing him for an impeding instead of what he actually did, which was disobeying a traffic signal. And I believe it's clear, based on the testimony in the video, that the defendant is responsible for that traffic offense of disobeying a traffic signal.
Repeat your change.
Yeah. Thank you.
You got the light. Mr. Mathis, your closing argument?
Well, what I would like to say on the record is No one was injured. There's no injured parties. If you guys can't bring forth any injured party, then why are we still here?
Because this charge does not require a specific individual being harmed.
I need this to be dismissed, and the funds that was issued on the bond account needs to be reimbursed to me. Period. You guys don't have any injured party here. Based on the Constitution, the Sixth Amendment, if you guys can't bring forth the accuser, then this needs to be dismissed.
Anything else, Mr. Mathis?
Not at the moment.
All right. Was there a bond posted? I'm not quite sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, this is a ticket for a civil thing. Why would there be a bond?
Judge, it looks like there was a $175 bond posted.
Really? Interesting. Why?
Judge, I apologize. I actually, the file is here. I'm going to send the file into court.
Soft Kitty, thanks for following.
Kuzny, the amendment was to disobey a traffic signal, which is a... okay.
I apologize, Judge. The file's coming into you.
That's all right. The amendment that the people made here was to disobey a traffic signal. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. The court's heard the testimony, the arguments of the parties, reviewed the video that was introduced as evidence. The video shows clearly the vehicle driven by Mr. Mathis to go through a red light, the traffic signal at 11 in Washington. The standard here at issue is preponderance. The video showed beyond any doubt, really, that that's what occurred. Also, there's testimony from Officer Moran that that Mr. Mathis did actually admit on the roadside that he had done what was alleged to have occurred here today. That testimony was uncontroverted by any other evidence that
Rick M. with the Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up?
was introduced. With that, the court does find Mr. Mathis to be responsible for the amended charge of disobey a traffic signal. That's a $150 fine. Mr. Mathis has posted a $175 bond, so the court will apply the bond to the fine of $150. There's
page 420, definition 6, can do.
a $25 refund coming to Mr. Mathis, and that's all for today. All right, we're all set. Thank you, Mr. Kuzny, Mr. Mathis, Officer Moran. You all have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Officer.
Only case number.
Conventio, from the Latin convenire, to come together. Ecclesiastical law, the act of converting the parties to an action by submitting the defendant. Okay.
Number 24, RO04189. This is people of the City of Royal Oak versus Anthony Winston Mathis.
This is the same guy.
Mr. Mathis, are you available?
Yep.
Good morning.
Grand Rising.
You are Anthony Winston Mathis?
No, I'm Anthony Mathis, the living man, here in special appearance for Anthony Winston Mathis, also acting in my proper capacity of the trustee of the trust.
Very well, Mr.
I guess he thinks last time he didn't say enough stupid shit. This time will work.
Mathis, today's the date and time for your informal hearing. The citation before the court, Mr. Mathis, indicates that on May the 24th of this year at approximately 9 p.m., you are operating a 2024 Ford Edge, black in color, on 11 Mile Road, near Washington, in the city of Royal Oak. And at that place and time, you committed the civil infraction of impeding traffic,
Okay, this has got to be an appeal.
Traffic,
because this is the same ticket.
is considered
Unless he did it twice.
lesser included offense within nearly any moving violation. And Officer Moran indicates in his detailed note that your vehicle was on East 11 Mile Road at Washington and disobeyed the traffic signal. The officer had a green arrow and therefore driver had a red light. Mr. Mathis, you have three options, and three options only, sir, in the protection of your own rights. You may, sir, admit responsibility in this matter. The court will attach the scheduled fine and that will close the case. Or, Mr. Mathis, you may admit responsibility with an explanation that you believe mitigates these circumstances, or you have every right to deny responsibility, and the court will
I
swear that
thought the judge in the previous thing already issued the 150. I'm confused what's happening now. Are there any lawyers that can explain what this is?
the parties and will take testimony. What would you like the court to do for you today?
Like, there's no way he did the same thing twice, because this is even the same cop.
Well, I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
The court does mind. You need to make a plea. I am required by law.
No, I don't.
Did they play these in the reverse order? Like, did they put the second thing before the first? Like, this was his first thing? Wow, who edited this?
Plead to anybody. I don't
What a bad choice.
plead to the Most High. Who are you?
I am Magistrate William Urick.
They fucked up.
P43273. I am a sworn judicial officer of this district. We are here for your informal hearing that you requested. This court is required by law, procedure, and court rule to take a plea. The motorist requesting this informal hearing, that being you, must make such a plea. You may admit responsibility in this matter.
I don't plead to anybody but God.
You may admit with an explanation, or you may deny responsibility, and the court will swear the parties and will take proofs. What would you have the court
This isn't an appeal. This is an arraignment. I think they genuinely just switched the order of the videos.
do for you today?
I don't plead to anybody.
Very
So I
well.
have a question.
Officer Moran and Mr. Mathis, please raise your right hands.
I do have a question.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give before this court shall be the truth, so help you God?
No, they're doing it. Did he do it? I'm so confused.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Magistrate, on May 24, 2024, at approximately 9 p.m., I, Officer Moran, was in the area of East 11 Mile in Washington when I observed 2024 Ford Edge black in color with Michigan plate Edward John Lincoln 6501. I was at the light at East 11 in Washington.
So is this the it's an arraignment and kind of an evidentiary hearing or something?
And at that place and time,
So this has got to be the first time, and then we already saw the second
committed
time.
the civil infraction of
Same
impeding
instance, same cross street. Thank you.
traffic. Impeding traffic, sir, is considered a lesser included offense within nearly any moving violation. And Officer Moran indicates in his detailed note that your vehicle was on East 11 Mile Road at Washington and disobeyed the traffic signal. The officer had a green arrow and therefore driver had a red light. Mr. Mathis, you have three options and three options only, sir, in the protection of your own rights. You may, sir, admit responsibility in this matter. The court will attach the scheduled fine and that will close the case. Or, Mr. Mathis, you may admit responsibility with an explanation that you believe mitigates these circumstances, or you have every right to deny responsibility, and the court will swear the parties and will take testimony. What would you like the court to do for you today?
Well, I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
The court does mind. You need to make a plea. I am required by law.
No, I don't plead to anybody. I only plead to the Most High.
It's an information hearing? I gotta look that up.
Who are you?
I am Magistrate William Urick, P43273. I am a sworn judicial officer of this district. We are here for your informal hearing that you requested. This court is required by law, procedure,
I don't
and
see anything about it immediately.
court rule to take a plea. The motorist requesting this informal hearing, that
It did. Oh, I might have gone back a little bit or something.
is
Sorry.
now your turn. What would you like the court to know, sir?
So, I have a question. Are you a judge?
He's a judge. You're fucked.
Mr. Mathis, the court has already indicated it is a sworn judicial officer.
Informal.
It is exercising
Look that
its jurisdiction lawfully over you. So questioning the court's authority.
You don't have any jurisdiction over me. I would argue you don't have any jurisdiction. Okay.
Mr. Mathis, the officer has already testified as to the facts of the case. It is now your turn to testify. You can tell the court anything you would.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's a less rigid legal proceeding used to resolve minor disputes like traffic tickets, civil infractions, administrative issues. Gotcha. So there is... Well, no, because this says there's no... Well, there's no attorney here, I guess. It says there's no attorneys. There's no attorneys in this, so that would work. Okay.
Wish the court to know, focusing solely on the events of the date in question. What would you like to tell the court?
The plaintiff is the city of Royal Oak. Please bring the city of Royal Oak. Where's the city of Royal Oak?
You're in it.
The officer is representing the city of Royal
You best start believing in the city of Royal Oak. You're in it.
Oak, sir.
Where's the city of Royal Oak?
Are you asking
You want me to pull a map up?
where it is geographically, or
Where's
are you asking where it is in
Right
terms
now.
of who's present on behalf of the city of Royal Oak?
Where is the city of Royal Oak? Please bring the
Court
city
doesn't
of-
understand your question. Are you asking where it is on a map, or where is the officer?
No, I know exactly where it is on the geographic location, but where are they right now?
The officer is representing the city of Royal Oak as a sworn and certified Michigan peace officer. So what else would you like to tell the court, Mr. Mathis? And please, again, the court suggests that you focus on the events of the date in question.
Okay, well, could you please bring forth the injured party? Was anybody injured?
This is not a
I feel injured having to watch this. Does that count?
tort case, Mr. Mathis. It is a case written
Well,
under the vehicle code
as I
of
was
the city of
traveling-
Royal Oak as it is adopted.
As I was traveling, the officer turned on the lights. No one was injured. So please bring forth the injured party. Based on the Constitution, the Sixth Amendment right, I have a right to face my accuser.
So I'm guessing not guilty is the way you're going.
If the plaintiff cannot come to court, then this shall be dismissed. That's failure.
Mr. Mathis, is there anything else you wish the court to know?
Please bring forth the injured party. If you can't bring forth the injured party, then this needs to be dismissed now.
Mr. Mathis, is there anything else you wish the court to know?
You guys can't bring anyone forward. As far as the injured party, no one was injured. You guys.
Mr. Mathis, I will
Does he think if he repeats it enough, it's gonna work?
ask you one more time.
I know some sovereign citizens think you need to say something 3 times before it works.
Officer is representing the city of Royal Oak. This is not a case alleging physical harm or breach of contract.
Why are you trying to charge
This is
me?
a civil case
Why are you
under
trying
the
to
Motor
charge
Vehicle
me?
Code as it was decriminalized in 1979. This is a civil matter. The burden of proof is a preponderance of the evidence. The officer has testified as to what he observed, and it is now your turn to testify as to what occurred. There is no requirement under the rules of procedure, civil, in this operation as of today, that requires a quote unquote injured party to be present. The officer has
It makes it more frustrating in the previous video that he brought this up when he clearly dealt with, like, this was already addressed in this first hearing.
stated very clearly and fairly and plainly what he observed that day. So as to your testimony related to the date in question, is there anything else you would like the court to know?
No, it isn't. If you guys can't bring any injured party,
Very
no
well.
one injured. You guys are.
Officer Moran, any rebuttal testimony?
No rebuttal testimony.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mathis, the burden of proof in a civil case is a mere preponderance of the evidence. The officer, a duly sworn and certified Michigan peace officer representing the city of Royal Oak, which is one of 2 cities upon which this court has jurisdiction, has put his testimony forward. There is nothing in the record that has rebutted any of it.
No, he's gonna rule here too. What is happening? What?
Therefore, the court is finding you responsible for the citation as it was written. The fine for that, sir, is $175. That is payable
I
through
would
the pay
not- I-
portal
no,
on
I
the
would not-
44th
I would
District
not-
Court
Maybe the first video was the appeal?
website, or you may walk a cash check or charge into the
I will not be
44th
paying
District
any
Court.
fine.
Because that's the $175 that they say was posted as bond, which you have to do for an appeal. No, they're not skits. They're not skits. This was just first, and then he appealed it, and the first video we watched was the appeal.
Please don't interrupt the court, sir.
I got it now. I got it together in my head. I get it.
You may walk a cash check or charge into the 44th District Court at 400 East 11 Mile Road, Monday through Friday, between 8:30 and 4:30. That's due within 7
He gave a worse defense in the second one we watched first.
days, Mr. Mathis.
Like, it was bad in both instances, but it was worse.
If you take
It's not AI. Why do you guys think this shit's AI?
exception to the court's
No.
ruling, you may post a bond in the amount of $175 within 7 days, and the matter will be placed upon the formal hearing docket of the chief judge of the district, and at that time, the city of Royal Oak would be represented by a city prosecutor. So either a bond or a fine of $175 payable within 7 days.
What makes cases like this
That voice is AI. All right, that's it for the day. So thanks for hanging out and checking out more Sovereign Citizen stuff with me. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to do tinfoil or meme stocks or AI psychosis stuff. Who knows? But we'll do something fun. Let's see who we're going to raid on Twitch. Yeah, the editor messed up and they switched the hearings, which is a shame. Anyway, who will we raid? We'll raid the good Jared.
Yes, I had a few.
Dang it, Bobby. All right. Let's do this raid. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Hope you have some good dinner. And then tomorrow's Friday, almost the long weekend for Americans. So that's fun. See you soon. Have a great night. And don't do stupid stuff in court, I guess.